Welcome to Hello Future Generation. Today we are joined by Kritika Jha, a UGC NET JRF qualified in philosophy, a PhD scholar in IIT Madras, an alumna of Miranda House and Hindu College, University of Delhi, and her research journey reflects the power of academic consistency and clarity. But alongside her research plan or the path, she has also worked as PMU State Coordinator with the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India. Question in this, I would like to know is that why IIT Madras and what should students actually look for while choosing a PhD institute? Because it's very important. Yeah. You're going to invest your, I think, 4 to 5 years. Yes, 4 to 5 years. So why IIT Madras?
So I have tried in all the institutes possible, like not all, but for me it was mostly either DU or JNU or IIT Madras. I'd come to why IIT Madras for me later. First, I'd like to tell maybe how people should try to find out which university suits them best. The first thing I do is go to the NIRF website. They have particular ranking for research institutions. I go there. I have been proudly in the topmost institutions of nation always. So this is one thing that I do always. In research institutions currently IIT Madras tops, although it's been more about science, but
Yes.
IIT's humanities stream is about multidisciplinary thing.
Okay.
So that excited me. So this is why I wanted to be in IIT Madras.
Okay.
And also because there is this opportunity that I can complete my PhD within 2.5 years if like I want to,
Okay.
if I'm able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is also there. So that was another reason that I was looking forward to IITs.
Okay. So in IIT, this is a very general norm.
Yes,
you-
2.5 years to
Okay.
5 years.
Okay. Okay.
So IIT is known for getting PhD done a little
Okay.
quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is one of the reason. However, one should first see whether the university is relevant for their own subject and exposure or not.
Okay.
For example, if someone is doing in psychology, say, or psychiatry, maybe NIMHANS or something like that, AIMS and all,
Okay.
people would aim to do PhD there. I was
Okay.
from humanities, so for me, institutions like DU, JNU, Jamia, maybe BHU or IITs, these were the institutions. So what a kind of exposure an institution is able to give you, what you want, whether you want
Yes.
subject specific thing or a multidisciplinary kind of a thing. These things also matter. And then IITs also sponsor you for international and national conferences. So that was also there, and I
Yes.
love attending conferences.
Okay. But
Yeah.
we would also like to know the admission process at IIT.
Sure.
So how it all started.
So all IITs have different admission process, more or less same, little bit of tweaks here and there. For example, in IIT Delhi, first we gave application, then there was a written test, subject
Okay,
specific,
okay.
and then there was interview.
Okay.
In IIT Madras, again, first we applied the application. The first thing is your application, in which
Okay.
you submit your research proposal. That research proposal is screened through and then it is referred. So
Okay,
your
okay.
research proposal has to be
Okay.
pretty good. Then if your application is selected, you give written exam in IIT Madras also, although it was more about math somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, despite of me being for humanities. And then there were 2 rounds of interview in IIT
Okay.
Madras. First was a kind of general interview in which
Okay.
I told my research proposal, everything about my research proposal.
Okay.
The panel asked me questions. And then the second interview, I was pretty clueless that I've said everything I know in my first interview. What will be there in the second interview?
Yes.
I was pretty much impressed with this thing that in the second interview, the panel came prepared with my research proposal in detail. They digged into it and they asked me questions specific to my research proposal,
Okay.
and I had to answer that. I was very confident that I did a good interview, but even if I was not qualified, I would be happy because this was one of the best interviews I've been to, because I was very happy that someone has gone through my research proposal so delicately and then asked me questions. So
Okay.
this was about the process in IIT Madras. Plus, I'd like to tell this also. For example, IITs clearly say, especially IIT Delhi, if you go to the website, they say that you can contact to the professors,
Okay.
whether they're interested in the topic you want to do PhD
Okay.
or not. For me, particularly, I didn't do this because I was pretty occupied PMU job, so I couldn't really contact any professors. But when I came here, I got to know that mostly all of them had spoke to the professors about the subject that they want to do. And I think this is important because you should know whether your subject, the topic you are wanting to do, is in demand or not, and which professor's interest is aligning with yours. You should know this. So again, for PhD, one should mostly go through the, like you said, how to select institutions.
yes.
This is another important factor, that you go through the professors who are expert in your field and see whether your thought process is aligning with the professor's thought process or not. So yeah, this is one important, because for me, I could not find any professor whose interest was aligning with mine. Still, I applied. So it was kind of a waste of time. You should know whether your subject's professor is there in the institution or not.
So now we have stressed a lot on research proposal. So the interview that you have also mentioned, the second round, it was mostly based on your research proposal. So to the students, could you please tell us more about like what is a research proposal? How should you prepare it? And what are the things that you should keep in mind while preparing it?
Again, so preparation for everything depends from person to person. So I would tell mine. So while doing MA, we do not have dissertation in DUs. We have essay course. So I took essay course under my professor in the topic consciousness studies, which excites me a lot. So in that essay course, I pretty much did a basic work, basic reading of things, and I thought of pursuing this topic only as my PhD. So my kind of basics and foundations were laid strong because I had given 6 months specifically on that subject. So that was there. And then for preparing a research proposal, you should be in touch with some mentors and professors, because you as a naive person, you do not have much clue about what should be the format, what should be the wording. For example, one mistake that I did in my article was I would write in my research. So my professor told me that this is not your research. So you should mention in your, I aim to search for this in my proposed thesis. This should be this should be the wording. So this is there, and people should also keep this in mind that while writing, we say that I am going to find that, for example, yellow color is brighter than white. This should not be the statement in proposal. I am going to find whether yellow color is brighter or dull than white. So you are not concluding. You are saying that I am going to find what may happen. You don't know the conclusion yet. This should be the basic idea about research proposal. And then format is of course there. It could be found in various websites. Different people follow different format, but I would say majorly abstract, then introduction, then literature review, research methodology. Research questions are very important. You should be able to formulate 5 to 6 research questions, which would tell that this is the area that you're going to read and search about in the thesis. And then a tentative chapterization is also okay, but in few proposals I've seen people put too many details in the tentative chapterization. That is not needed, I feel. You don't know right now what you're going to exactly do. So that is okay. And also research proposal does not need to be a 25-50 page lengthy research. No, it needs to be crisp. 12 to 13 pages. Times New Roman 12 size font, 1.5 space. It is sufficient. 12 to 14, maybe 15 pages, not too long.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's enough. And you also need to know that you haven't yet researched about it. Of course, your foundation has to be clear. But for example, I am doing my research in a particular textbook. It's not important that I have read all that textbook, because that is what I'm going to do in my research. But I should be clear with the foundations. I should have started at least. I should know what my text is about. I should have read a little bit of primary and secondary sources, other sources about the topic. So your foundation should be clear, and you should know that you're interested. Few people also think that, maybe the professor is suggesting me this topic, I'll take it. No. You should know whether you're interested in it, because you have to spend your 4 years almost on that topic. You should be interested in that. Otherwise, you'll get tired. Even if you are interested in that, it will still make you tired. So if you're not interested, it will be a havoc.
Because when you choose through that to be a PhD scholar, to devote 4 to 5 hours, years of your life to the research. So what sort of mindset is required?
So I think for academics, you also need to have this balanced approach, that you have to have healthy food, live healthy lifestyle. Only then your mind because both physique and mental strength is needed
Yes.
for this
True.
tedious task.
Yes.
Yeah.
So IIT Madras or in general IITs or the PhD institute, they do give the space for extracurricular activities as well.
Definitely. It is a whole lot of opportunity for you to do extracurricular activities. There are inter-IIT competitions which IITs are known for. There is a swimming pool, there is a badminton court in every hostel, there is a music room, whole lot of music equipment. I had this fantasy of learning Bharatnatyam, and I just have to now pay 1500 rupees for learning Bharatnatyam, which is a huge opportunity for me. So I have, like, there is every possible thing that I can think of in IIT which I would like to pursue as my, it is the whole.
So, could you please share like three tips or three mistakes, tips to appear for that exam or to clear UGC NET or JRF, and three mistakes that one should avoid while preparing for these exams?
I think I'd like to merge these two questions.
Okay.
Because again, the tips would be the things that one should do and not mistake it as something that is not to be done. So, for example, in my first attempt, I was more of a book person. I am like that while preparing for competitive exam. I would do the core books first and only then focus on question paper. But I think that is not the right approach. You should, with a basic reading, for example, if you have done a reading once, you should switch to seeing question papers. That is very important for every competitive exam, I would say, because JRF I was able to qualify only when I focused my attention more to the previous year question papers, last 10-year PYQs. I did it. Although the pattern was different, I did it. Because there are many questions which repeat. So this is very prime that you do PYQs. Then you find out the correct book. For example, Arihant was there for me in philosophy, but that is not the only book. No. And it is not true that everything compiled in that would be correct. Because it is a, someone who has done only a master would compile that book. There might be a few mistakes.
Yes.
So it's okay. Your basics should be clear in your bachelor's and master's. As much as that, you can figure out the mistakes in these compiled books for competitive exams, and you have to rectify it on yourself. And then there has to be other books also. For example, particularly in philosophy, I didn't rely completely on Arihant for Indian logic. I also referred to the primary sources like Tark Sangraha and other books that were taught to me in BA. So that one book is not the only thing that you have to do. Again, it does not mean that you have to do 10 books. No, you have to figure out. You have to figure out what
Maybe
all to do.
3 books would be enough, or maybe 2 books would be enough. Right?
That depends.
That depends.
That depends.
Okay.
How to figure out would be the third tip. You go through the syllabus very well. Sometimes question comes directly from syllabus. If you have read the syllabus properly, maybe you are able to solve 4-5 questions in the question paper. Yes. You read the syllabus very properly, and then if you're not sure, if you think this particular topic is not covered in the compiled book, you go for the other sources of it. This is how you figure out which topic to. So, for example, it was just one book, but 10, 12, 15 articles that I refer to for different topics. This topic is not covered in this book, so I'll go for some article.
But you will be able to do all these things only when you have a foundation in your subject matter, and that is very much required. And one should be very careful while choosing the subject. That is because I feel paper 2 is very important, and you can prepare for it. I'm sure anyone can prepare for the paper 2, but the foundation is very important, and that you can build in your grad and in your post grad.
Yeah, so some people choose subjects other than their graduation and post graduation also, which is fine. But again, you need to have some foundation. You need to know what the subject is about.
Because paper 1 you can practice.
Yeah. Paper 1 is certainly all about practice, about PYQs. Because some questions like environment and general knowledge, it would come from out of nowhere. So that question no one will be able to solve. It's okay, but the more you practice about the statistics and mathematics part and reasoning part, paper 1.
So thank you so much, Kritika, and thank you so much for actually sharing your experience. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and please keep watching Hello Future Generation.